Welcome. This is a restorative yoga practice, so we do need some props from around your house if you have proper yoga props. If not, I know you can make do with other things. So I have 2 blankets, 1, 2. Traditionally in restorative yoga we use Mexican blankets. They're nice and firm, they're not as puffy. If you don't have Mexican blankets, that's okay, but grab a couple of blankets. And then I have my yoga bolster, the cylindrical shaped one. If you don't have a yoga bolster, or if you have a rectangular one, use a rectangular one. But you could also use cushions from your couch or some pillows. So gather those props, we'll come onto the mat. Any of these restorative shapes that we're going to do, you could do as a standalone. So if you only had 5 minutes, you needed a good quality break in your day, take one of these shapes for 5 minutes. Or if you really like one of them, you could extend that to say maybe 20 minutes of your day, just holding one shape. We're going to start in basic relaxation pose. The bolster will be used to support behind the knees. Bring that closer down, maybe about 2/3 down the mat, running perpendicular. I'll have one blanket for my head to support the head like a pillow. The other blanket, the second blanket, you can open that up and use it to cover yourself up. Okay? Come on down. Swing the legs on top, and those legs are wide, supporting behind the knees. Carefully lowering yourself down onto your blanket. Of course, you always have to adjust to get that right placement. And then you can also begin to roll your blanket around the base of your skull. Picture if you're creating a bird's nest for the back of your head there. Arms can open up away from the body. Remember, if you want to cover up that second blanket, feel free. Guide that chin down towards the heart. Your bolster or your pillow here, in this case, is helping drop that chin down. Close your eyes. You're at home. You feel comfortable to close your eyes. And sink heavy onto your mat, supported by your props. Begin a pattern of breath. Inhaling and exhaling long, slow, gentle breaths through the belly. Feel your belly rising and falling. bend up one knee, place that foot on your bolster. Bend up the other knee, place that foot on your bolster. You wriggle your fingers, wiggle your toes a little bit. And think about what side of the body you'd like to roll onto. And go ahead and roll onto that side. Your head can be cradled in your arm, your blanket. Gently flutter your eyes open, adjusting to the light. And roll that bolster out of your way so you can make your way up to your seat, and we can build our next shape. Okay, so we're going to do a supported reclining twist. We're going to have blankets nearby, of course, but I'm going to place that bolster now. Of course, the top of your mat is running parallel. Okay, that's going to support our upper body. I'll place the blanket back on the top for the pillow. And that second blanket, fold it up. If you open it up, you're going to fold it up. That's going to be a support between the legs to keep the hips, the pelvis more neutral. And I will in fact make it quite thick. So my fold just about as thick as it can go. And place that between the thighs, between my thighs, my knee area. And then I'm going to turn as you got one hip. In this case, I have my left hip up against the bottom of my bolster. Bring one hand on either side of that bolster. Find length. Walk it down, and then eventually laying on down. So my left hip is up towards the bolster. You place your left cheek up there on your prop. Arms can wrap around or beside your bolster. If you're really comfortable, so right now I have my gaze turned in the same direction as my knees. You can do a full spinal twist. You can take your gaze in the opposite direction if you want to. If that's really comfortable for you, that's what you're looking for today. So Lynn will be here for a couple of minutes. push your way up just a little bit. We're going to take a sideline shavasana, which isn't the end of our practice. It's really easy. We're going to stay on this side, keep that prop between your thighs. I'm taking my blanket off, time being, and then we're going to slide that bolster out in front of the mat. Okay, bring that blanket back. That will be the support for your head. So that's our pillow, acting as our pillow here. And lay back down, staying on that side. And then drape your arm either over that bolster, just out in front, or if you'd like to really hug it in tight, feel free to do that. Imagine maybe you're cuddling your favorite person there. Sideline shavasana. Again, about 2 minutes here. Not in that twist now, but more in that fetal position. Bring your awareness back into the space in your body. You gently flutter your eyes open, adjusting to the light again. And we'll do those two shapes on the other side. Slowly, mindfully, push your way up. And for you, if you want to face away from me, you can simply slide your things the other way. I'm going to flip around the other side so I keep my face on you. Still have that wedge between the legs. That is not changing. Okay, first was our climbing twist, if you remember. So bolster is going to support the upper body. And then my blanket at the top for my pillow. Okay, one hand on either side. So now I have my right hip against the bolster to start One hand on either side there, find length, walk it down. I'm keeping my gaze in the same directions as my knees, but feel free, if it's comfortable for you, you want to turn your gaze away, that full spinal twist. And you slowly blink your eyes open. Bring the hands, and if you have your gaze turn the opposite direction, bring that back first. Hands underneath your shoulders. Push your way up. Keep the legs right where they are. Take my blanket off for a moment and bring my bolster forward of the mat. That side lying Shavasana on the second side. Bring the blanket back for the pillow. Come on down to your fetal position, adjusting your pillow as you need to, well supported with your head. And then drape that top arm across your bolster. If you want to hug it in a little closer, feel free. 2 more minutes here. Gently flutter your eyes open, readjust to the light. You push that bolster out of your way, so you bring your hand to your mat and push your way up. We'll go into our final shape, which will be a supported bound angle. Getting the blankets off to the side, just to start at least. We'll bring that bolster back on towards the top of the mat. That's going to support your spine. So this time we'll bring the seat all the way up to the back of the bolster, the bottom of the bolster, and lay the spine down. I have that blanket for my head. Two options for your second blanket. If your hips, and we're going to be in this cobbler's pose with the bottoms of your feet touch, your knees fall to the side. If your knees are really, or your hips are really open, you're comfortable with that, you may cover up with your blanket. If you need a little bit of support for the knees, your hips, then I will take my blanket kind of this long way and fold it up a little bit more. Not so much a roll, but as a fold, a long fold, which is this. And I place that at the top of my ankles or my feet, and then wrap it underneath. I'm going to wrap it around the front of the shins to the back of the calves. That's going to help support my knees in that open position, and the hips, keeping it nice and open. Okay, so you choose which is best for you in your final shape. Make sure that you're going to be comfortable. Lay the spine down. We have to adjust that blanket for your head. Good. Open up the arms away from the body if that's comfortable for you. If that's uncomfortable, maybe you want to place them on the belly, but I would recommend that the backs of your arms can come to the mat and support. You don't have to hold your arms there. Guiding that chin down towards the heart. Closing your eyes. And relax for another 2 minutes. If you'd like to stay where you are and you're able to, you can ignore me, stay where you are. For those that are planning on getting moving right at the end of the session, you draw your knees together first. Taking a breath or two. And then roll over onto one side. You might be supported on your bolster and your blanket there. And then help your way up to your seat. Go really slow and keep your head hanging right up until the very end. And from my seat to yours, I want to say thank you for letting me lead you through this restorative practice. I hope you're feeling wonderful. Until we see each other again, namaste.